Welcome to Brainstorm MTG. I'm ELD, and this is Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering, this time from Scholars Games as part of our Wednesday Night Legacy series. And here we've got Tin Fins versus what I consider to be one of the absolute best decks in the format in Czech Pile. Opening up with Deathrite, definitely a part of that formula that makes it so good and so resilient. Deathrite actually going to be a problem for reanimation strategies here, and Force of Will from Kyle showing the other part of that formula, which is being able to fight on the stack. So Entomb could have found a way for this game to take place underneath Deathrite's activated ability before it could actually come online, but that Force of Will also able to buy enough time. And here fetching Scalding Tarn, continuing to grab dual lands. Really no reason to worry about having basics in this type of matchup. I'm not going to be going after his mana base at all. I am going to be going after his face with a 20/20 or perhaps comboing out with Griselbrand. Either one of those is really acceptable. But these Deathrites may prove to be too much to play through here. A couple of reanimation effects on the other side. And Deathrite Shaman's just piling up. 2 elements of green mana here available, making it more and more difficult to get Griselbrand. At this point, it would really be best to find a way to get that Dark Depths combo together. But that's going to require Dark Depths in either Thespian Stage or Vampire Hexmage. Probably preferable to get the Thespian Stage, just because it doesn't run into any more counter magic. Now the Vampire Hexmage could still be part of the equation, given the Exhumes and Shallow Graves. And a third Deathrite Shaman. So the graveyard, the window really coming under attack here. And there's a Vampire Hexmage making any Dark Depths live draws moving forward. It is in there. That does at least also that actually stops the Deathrite Shamans from attacking, which is nice. However, realistically, Kyle should be able to get enough instants and sorceries into the graveyard to use their drain ability effectively. Now Colgan's Command actually doing some pretty serious work here, taking out Lotus Petal and Vampire Hexmage. There was Exhume and Shallow Grave. It would be nice. A card that would combo with all of this would be Cabal Therapy. Would be nice to be able to therapy and then do some tricks with Shallow Grave and Exhume to play around those Deathrite activated abilities. But that is not to be here. Not a lot of opportunities here with these Deathrite Shamans sitting on board. Cabal Therapy would have allowed Shallow Grave to bring back Vampire Hexmage and then sack the Hexmage so it wouldn't get exiled. And then perhaps being able to Exhume. All that could have potentially happened while Kyle was restricted on mana, but the more mana that Kyle has available, the harder it's going to be to use this graveyard. Each untapped Deathrite Shaman essentially countering an Exhume or a Shallow Grave. And Deathrite draining down to just 7 here. A couple of turns away from death. These Deathrites have the potential to do, right now, 8 damage just with a 2 black. See if Kyle has another black mana. And it looks like off screen that's a Leovold. And that is, that's probably going to do it. So right now Griselbrand not going to be able to draw any cards. And there is a Dark Ritual. Lotus Petal, so some fast mana here. And gonna unmask, pitching Exhume. Drawing a card off of Leovold. It looks like Snapcaster's Fatal Push, Toxic Deluge. So just one green source available. And Entomb gonna resolve here with 2 black floating. And Exhume is going to get effectively countered by the Deathrite Shaman, but Shallow Grave in response is going to get that Griselbrand into play. And coming in for 7. Unfortunately, can't actually draw 7 cards due to Leovold on the other side, so despite triple Deathrite Shaman, still managing to get Griselbrand in play, but it's going to be too little, too late. As he is exiled end of turn. Leovold with those Deathrite Shamans turning this into a 2-turn clock. And that last-ditch effort did actually use a ton of resources. All of those are fodder for Deathrite Shaman. Cabal Therapy getting that Snapcaster out of there. And we are looking at lethal here. Czech pile taking down game 1. I would say on the back of Deathrite Shaman, but Leovold really the most important card there. With Tin Fins showing some real resilience, actually with the potential to play through all 3 Deathrite Shamans there, continued to have Shallow Grave still in hand. So that's pretty remarkable. The instant speed on Shallow Grave really not to be underestimated. Deathrite Shaman is a very powerful effect. The ability to interact with graveyards very meaningful, especially as a main deck card, but there are very much limits to what the card is capable of. Shallow Grave, a really good response to a lot of the graveyard hate out there. It does remind me a little bit of the World Gorger Dragon decks from back in the day in Vintage. Those decks, for those unfamiliar, would run Animate Dead, Dance of the Dead, and then Necromancy. And Necromancy is 2 and a black for essentially an Animate Dead, but can be played at instant speed. So that did allow you to combo out, often in response to graveyard hate. You'd play an Animate, and then they'd attempt to remove your World Gorger, and you'd respond with Necromancy and just win the game. Infins definitely has that type of potential as well. Deck pile, just a really good deck. Very surprised when I kind of take a look at the overall metagame. It does seem like Grixis Delver a lot more popular. But the power of Leovold, the versatility of playing cards like Kolgan's Command, I mean, in Snapcaster Mage, such extreme value plays. Snapcaster to get back Kolgan's Command, I mean, that's, you need to invent a new type of math to evaluate that type of card advantage. It's just completely off the charts. Not anywhere near as broken as, you know, decks like Storm or Sneak and Show or even Tin Fins, but really, when you get into a grindy game, some of these cards just provide so much value and can find ways to take a standstill and just completely break it wide open. And it looks like this hand is going to be keepable, scrying. And Silent Gravestone, one of the better pieces of deck building from this deck. Thoughtseize on the other side of the board, grabbing the Shallow Grave, breaking up a turn 2 win. or at least the potential for a turn 2 win. It looks like that second land is Dark Depths. That would not allow for casting of Shallow Grave, but there's a swamp to join it. So now any animate spell is going to be live. Going to be able to cast either Exhume or Shallow Grave and respond by sacrificing Lion's Eye Diamond. And there's Thespian Stage. So threatening to make a 20/20 here, even through some pretty suboptimal opening sequences here. And swinging with a 20/20, and looks like all the answers on the other side of the board. Diabolic Edict taking out the 20/20. And Baleful Strix continuing to chip away. Just bit by bit. Not typically with the way Baleful Strix works. But he is going full on aggro. 1 point at a time. Those cards fly around, seeing glimpses of Force of Wills. Those are going to be problematic. Infins at its core is a combo deck. And it looks like Holgan's Command targeting a Silent Gravestone, and that's going to pull a Dark Ritual out of the hand just to activate the Gravestone and draw a card. That's going to exile the graveyards. Not an ability typically used on Silent Gravestone. In this matchup, almost entirely just uses Deathrite Shaman defense, not typically used to exile graveyards or to draw cards. And now Entomb. And that is going to get Force of Willed. Dark Depths coming down here. It looks like Exhume, Cracking LED, Force pitching Force. So talk about all the answers. There's 3 forces. But Tin Fin's still not out of it. Dark Depths on board. The Living Wish, Thespian Stage, Vampire Hexmage. A whole lot of very dangerous outs still. Any one of which could just blow the game wide open by making a 20/20. Now Baleful Strix would continue to delay the game, playing defense at that point. It has been an aggressive creature, surprisingly enough, so far, chipping me all the way down to 10 life. And there is 3 mana for Leovold, and that is going to be a huge problem here. 2 damage at a time. And Leovold swings, and that is almost certain death here. Looks like a 20/20 now is the only thing that could even potentially delay the game. And another Silent Gravestone. Ponder here. Free combat, but an attack step looks like it's just going to end the game. And there you go. Leovold taking down another one. Definitely earning his place in Czech pile. That's all for this one. If you enjoyed the video, please help grow the channel by subscribing. You'll be notified when we upload new videos like Fast Effect, Double Speed Magic with commentary, or Untapped, our raw tournament gameplay. Thanks for watching.